We are the original Saturday Menudo Club, except no substitutes. Ya no más.
Hi, I am Elsa. You are watching the Saturday Menudo Club ZoomCast with host Carmen Cavazos and co-host Andy Valadez. Please like, share, follow, and visit SaturdayMenudoClub.com. Ya no más. Stay hungry, my friends.
All right, welcome back. You're watching the Saturday Menudo Club ZoomCast. I'm your co-host, Andy Valadez, here with your hostess with the mostest, Miss Carmen Cavazos. Hey, Carmen, how you
Hello,
doing today?
everyone. Glad to be here.
We always have fun with these Zoomcasts. You know, that people do podcasts. I think we said you would do a little twist. It's a Zoomcast. You never know who we're going to have. We decided to go digital, right? We're not going to just wait for our weekly, monthly. I mean, we have a lot of events going on nowadays now, right? It's not just one event once a month. We're tapping in with other organizations, getting a lot of support. But, you know, we wanted to, again, open up the lines of communication. And we have an awesome guest that you're going to introduce, and we're going to go down the rabbit trail and catch the rabbit on this deal. So, Carmen Cavazos.
Yes, absolutely. So we have a guest who attends the Saturday Menudo Club who we find extremely interesting, and I believe you are too. Mr. Rick Rivera. He is joining us today on our Zoomcast. Mr. Rivera, would you like to let our audience know a little bit about you, just who Mr. Rivera is, a little bit of your background, and a little bit about how and what led you to come and visit the Saturday Menudo Club?
Absolutely. Well, hello and good evening to all the viewers. And again, thank you, Andy and Carmen, for having me on the show. Very blessed and honored to be here tonight. So a little bit about me is I'm a son, the only son. My mom and dad are in law enforcement. My dad is retired DPS, and my mom is retired Homeland Security. And so that really installed a lot of value propositions in terms of good values, just trying to do the best. Also, what it's like to live in a house like that with, just strict, just always on your case. I mean, my parents are still on my case, but, that just happens. But my background is in business development and marketing, and I really thrive in those spaces. And it took me to different places. I mean, starting out while I was at University of Texas El Paso, go Miners. That's in West Texas, and I had the chance to get a real taste of my first gig in film, and it was doing a spec commercial for Nike with. At that time, Dakota Fanning wasn't really big. She got signed, but she was just doing the spec commercial for Nike just before everything really got pumped. And so I got my start there. And then I ended up going to Los Angeles and getting into film and TV, and very proud of that. I did a lot of good work out there, and I was in music management, and then also I was in artist management in terms of actors. I worked for a great company that gave actors, musicians an opportunity to get out there and get auditions, simultaneously kind of moonlighting with the record labels and doing press junkets and official CD release parties when CDs were a thing. And so it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. And the thing is, I think those industries, whether it's film or TV, they get a bad rap sort of in terms of, it's out in the West. I mean, movie, music, it's everywhere now. But I think you have to go into those industries with a strong mindset. If you don't have good values going, because there's a lot of great people in the industry, but if you don't have good values or know your limits, no one's forcing anything to you. You make choices, and whatever those choices are, well, there's consequences, so to speak. I'm not perfect, but I know my limits. When COVID happened, it was really like a ghost town. It was just weird. You go to Santa Monica, you go to Venice. Venice was always known for anybody that's been to Venice before COVID, it's known to be not dirty, but um, I don't have a word to describe it. Very rugged, maybe, because it was
Hmm.
open with, you see everybody. I mean, you look at a building, beautiful building. You have Ronda Rousey just because she's from Venice, right there on the side as a mural. But I mean, everybody was just kind of it wasn't pretentious like Santa Monica. And
Hmm.
now, I mean, you can't even it's I know they're cleaning it up, but local government really just gave the middle finger to the taxpayers that live there, because once that happened, it was a whole nother world. I mean, you saw tents, all these things all over the beach, and it actually became like a serious dangerous thing. Crime took over, and I believe it's a mix between local government, and then, of course, the governor's position on all of that, which was great. But I had the
So you're witnessing this as you work in this industry, and are these just like everyday citizens that are becoming homeless out in California, that you're seeing this trend happen, or this happen to Venice Beach, or is it something progressively as I know we talked a little bit, you touched a little bit on crime. As the crime increased in the area, so did the homeless population, which then invaded the beach. Is there a correlation between the both that maybe you noticed?
I think so, because I was working at Warner Brothers, and then also working for entertainment partners that were getting me gigs here and there, and be able to work on different projects in terms of, like, I mean, Angels and Demons with
Mhm.
uh, Tom Hanks, and then also other shows like ER when John Stamos
Okay.
is like the head doctor. I mean, I'm going way back, but you're the reason why I bring that up is because in Burbank, it's its own little bubble. It's super clean, and the police is
Hmm.
different. They drive BMWs, and so they pick up the homeless and they dump them somewhere else. I hate to say that word, but they move them. They remove them from Burbank. You can't even light a cigarette in Burbank. It's illegal. They'll give you a ticket. But what people don't understand is there was a whole nother culture going on Skid Row. And
Okay.
Skid Row was just, I mean, the AIDS epidemic was huge. I mean, it was just a really crazy thing. So when COVID happened, the laws became decriminalized, meaning whether it was prostitution, whether it was the buy and sell of different types of drugs, um, gang activity, just those things mixing. And then when the first couple of rounds of um, like becoming lenient on theft, and we're talking petty thefts, but they put a number to it. So I believe it was like, if you steal below $900, it'll be just a misdemeanor, it won't go felony. And then the other thing that was catching on like wildfire are I forgot what they called it, but they would get this little tool that firefighters use, or police officers.
Hmm.
If someone's trapped in their car, they just hit it one time, and the whole thing shatters. The whole glass shatters, and they would just smash and grab crimes, and they would just smash it, and they would grab it, and they would leave, but they weren't prosecuting any of these people. And then it just got worse. Then the gangs got involved, and then it got organized, and you're like, what's going on? And then some really ridiculous things started going on, in terms of, if people break into your house, you can't shoot them unless you're almost going to die. They actually have to shoot you before you can fire off. And I remember talking to police officers, and they would say, and you can quote me on this, because no matter who's watching this, if you live in California during that time and you have a license to carry a gun or have firearms in your house, some of the police officers that knew the homeowners, they would tell them, when they come in, fire a shot into the ceiling So as a warning shot, just in case, like if you shot the person already, before you call the cops, fire a warning shot in the ceiling. So when they come, they can't arrest you. They can't arrest you for someone breaking into your house. That's
So
crazy.
you've seen the deterioration of law and order when you were in the industry out in California. Was that something that maybe motivated you or pushed you in the direction to come to Texas? Because as you know, a lot of people have mentioned that Texas is the last frontier for law
Mhm.
and order. We are, as America is a beacon to the world, Texas is a beacon to the United States. So as you're witnessing and you're living these atrocities out in California and the industry that you're in, is that in some way influenced you to make your journey out to Texas?
Absolutely. I mean, just to give credence to my parents, I'm a Texas boy first. I was
Mhm.
born and raised in Houston, Texas. Not born, I was raised in Texas since I was two. That journey to California happened right after college or around
Mhm.
that, right after that instance. But, absolutely, because no one wants to hire anybody. And not only that, but when the companies start losing money because they can't be sustainable because of the laws that are being just they're not being enforced. And then not only that, but a lot of these things in terms of the riots and the burning down of the stores, they're going into their own neighborhoods and burning down stores of democratic business owners. And they would come out and say, what's going on here? Like, this is ridiculous. I didn't sign up for this. So with that being said, and just the movement of why people were leaving, people are just getting fed up. And it wasn't a thing of let's keep the party alive and going in terms of what they were thinking for the Democrat side, but it was just like we're drowning. And I
Mhm.
believe when Joe Rogan made his official move to Austin, that really shined a light on the fact that because he's a billionaire now, but he was in a huge contract. I think it was like $100 million for his Spotify contract. Don't quote me on that, but it was a big contract that he was. I think it was Spotify. And when he did that, and he built his own compound, he built his own comedy store, or not comedy store, but he built his own comedy facility where people can go, and he
Mhm.
brings in all the great acts from California that really put a message out to not only Hollywood but LA in general that this isn't working and it's bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that you visited the Saturday Menudo Club several times now, and you have mentioned, you worked in the industry that you just talked about. You've
Mhm.
also worked on a high profile campaign. I want you to talk a little bit about that so the viewers can see the diversity in which careers you've worked in.
Mhm.
If you could talk a little bit about what you did for the campaign, also maybe a vision of what it is that you see yourself doing maybe within the next 3 months or a year from now, and how you would like people from the Saturday Menudo Club who have come to listen to your Zoomcast, how they could potentially get involved in things that you would be advocating for as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, in terms of this great thing that Andy founded and you've jumped on board with the Saturday Menudo Club, it's more than just going to a place with great food.
And
uh,
yeah, it is good.
that's the perk. That's the perk, it's you're around people that are like-minded, that
Mhm.
are wanting to have answers or find avenues to keep our morality or our good fiber of what we believe in terms of whether it's politics or just faith based.
Mhm.
And I believe that's a great thing because when you go there, it's an experience, and it's a different experience every time because the topics are different. But it's a great way to get people to not only speak what's on their mind, but
Mhm.
also possibly to build an avenue to actually make a difference. Not just say it, but work together, see where you fit in the political landscape, whether it's this district or that district, or whether it's county, federal, whatever it may be. And that is the best thing, I believe, about Saturday Menudo Club, because you're finding those avenues that you wouldn't necessarily find if you just walk to the GOP, or you, no offense to the GOP, I love the GOP, but they all have things that they're working on. They're all busy, and
Mhm.
that's good. But if you're looking to actually get your feet wet and your first foot in, Saturday Menudo Club is great because everybody goes, and it's great. It's an awesome situation. In terms of starting out, my first when I got started in politics, I worked for free. A friend of mine was in the movie industry as well, and he was doing an event that he just called me up. He's like, "Liz," actually, he texted me. He's like, "Hey, is there any way you can do my promotions and help me book this thing? Kind of just help me put this thing on. It's a big profile event, and we're going to touch a lot of hot topics, but it's for the Republican Party, and we have a lot of VIP guests."
Mhm.
And I've always wanted to get into politics because I believe I have something to say, but also I care about people in our direction, not only just our district, the state, but also where our country's going. And so I got to
Absolutely.
start somewhere. And being in music management kind of gave me a little bit of ideas on how to do it, because it's kind of the same thing, just different landscapes.
Mhm.
So I helped put the event together, and it was in New Mexico, and it kind of bordered Ciudad Juarez, and
Okay.
a lot of great people were a part of it. And so I just worked my butt off. I did the reservations, I booked the people, I did the marketing, I set up just different things, that everything that they needed in terms of the bones of the event, signing in, um,
Logistics.
yeah, logistics.
Mhm.
That's the best way to put it. I did logistics, but
Mhm.
the thing was, I worked my tail off, and I did it absolutely for free, and it actually paid off because that showed a lot of uh, respect in terms of me getting that respect from my peers, and then also introducing me to something that I possibly could be good at, and it was
Excellent.
great. It was great.
Is there something in the horizon that you want to share with our audience? Maybe a project or an event that you may be thinking or possibly scheduling sometime in the near future?
Absolutely. So, um, I I have a slew of meetings coming up this week, and I'm going to be in Dallas for some of that too as well. I can't necessarily talk about those things, but um, I mean, you know how it is, Carmen, Andy.
Yes.
You can't talk about it until it's actually signed, sealed, and delivered. But I would love to run and represent a certain district, but also fight for Texas, fight for our country, and more uh, specific, be in Congress doing that alongside of like-minded individuals that believe in the same thing. There's been so many things that have been happening over the past week with the death of Charlie Kirk, just different things with on the left side, and I've seen I've seen people that I've call friends that are
Mhm.
in Congress, and they're supporting someone from the left that I'm not too happy about. And it's those things that drive me to say, let's go out there and work. Because, man, I tell you, Carmen, Andy, I am a bulldog. I will get out there. I will speak. I will lay out the foundation. I think my background with the marketing and business development and just the friends and business individuals that I've had the pleasure to work with just here in Houston or around the country, I think they would be great support systems to back me or just actually lend an ear and hear what I have to say. And so that's what I'm looking at in the future. I want to run. Whether I do that this time around is up in the air because of what's going on this current week. And it's a lot of things that I really just can't touch on. But aside from that, I have a passion project. It's called Food Trucks and Music. It's totally outside of politics. And from a logistics side, I love doing those things. There's a science to putting on events like that. And Carmen, Andy, you know this. There's a strategy that you need to follow so that you'll be cash flow net positive. Because if it's not a business, then it's a hobby, and then it's not worth your time. But I put on one show. It was great. There was about 3,000 people there, and we're working on our second one. And if you want to find me and check us out, we don't have a lot of followers, but on Instagram, you can look us up at Food Trucks and Music, all spelled out in one. And I think it's a pretty cool page. It's not the best page, but I think it's cool and it's family oriented. And, shout out to the big brothers out there that are doing it on a whole nother level, like Ultra and EDC. Hopefully, and God willing, Food Trucks and Music will be at that same level. But we are working, and we're working with different people that can really open up the gates for this. But,
wonderful. So is there detailed information? Let's say one of our viewers is really interested, wants to get a hold of you, or wants to get more detailed information on the event. Is that listed already on the Instagram page where they can navigate to see how they could fit into the event themselves?
Right. At the moment, the Instagram page is pretty straightforward in terms of like sending a message. But in terms of marketing, and this is just one of my, and that I give to everyone in terms of doing an event, whether it's this big or gigantic, we're very good and keen on not putting any marketing material until everything is signed. And we're cash flow net positive before the event starts. And that allows us to be successful. Because if we have the checks and we have the contracts, then we're able to move forward and say, okay, hey, now the first day of marketing, and here we go. And not only that, but I got to be honest with you, it takes off a lot of the pressure. Because you see a lot of, not to go into it and not to, I'm not talking bad about anybody, but there are some instances where you're listening to the radio or you're listening to whatever is tuning you in, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, and you hear people promoting their event in terms of we need sponsors, we need vendors, but they've already done the marketing for the event. And to people that are doing that successful, they know one thing, that they're running out of money. And so that's what we try to stay away from and really just try, because it's a lot of work, but it's fun though.
Well, it sounds like you have a passion. You've talked about how, you had a career out on the West Coast, how you've come to Texas now. Now you're planning this big event, and we hope and pray for you. We hope it's a successful event. We pray that it multiplies from 3,000 to 9,000 and have our viewers, once everything is solidified, like you just mentioned, we do have a calendar on our website at www.SaturdayMenudoClub.com. And Andy, do you want to touch a little bit about that, how our calendar can interact with sister clubs or with people who would like to promote or post their events as well?
Right. Yes. Our Google Calendar, again, with members that, we get to know and trust, we give them access to the calendar so they can post their events. So that takes the work off of us. So we can post your event and then let the people know about your event. If you have a flyer, we can list it on the website. So definitely want to go to your next one, go hang out.
Absolutely. Oh, and I have a quick story, if I might add this, just for your viewers. Okay.
Okay.
And this is, I've never told this story before, but it's it's one of those things that either you grow from it or you just totally quit. There was my first ever big event that I did on my own with some of my ex business partners. We did this huge event on Hollywood Boulevard. We had the club ready to go. We had DJs from all over the place. We even had Nick Cannon's DJ from Wildin' Out. It was a big show during that time. I think they're still traveling, but at that time, it was huge. And we did all this marketing, and there was so much money that was spent from investors, and it was just crazy. And we got a good deal at the bar, which was awesome because you want to make money at the bar. Once you hit a certain limit, you want to start making percentage on the dollar so that you're able to do this again because it's all about what are you going to do next? Well, we had all the staff. We had all the go-go dancers. We had everybody fly in. And right behind the club that we were at, I forgot what that club was called, that was behind us. It was, I think it was called the Garden. I'm not sure. It was a very garden-esque thing. There was like greenery on the outside. But what I didn't know and what my partners didn't know, and this is about doing your due diligence and knowing the landscape that you're doing business in. Beyonce had her birthday party right behind our club.
Ooh.
Nobody showed up. All our guests that were supposed to be there that flew in from Atlanta, flew in from New Jersey, that were playing and doing, we had like 3 DJs. We made no money. I owed the club like 10 grand.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
I was like, I had to be like 23, 24 when this was going on. I was scared out of my mind because I didn't know what to do. I'm standing outside with my security, and they're telling me, Rick, what's going to happen, man? I go, I don't know. And I had a moment where I honestly wanted to just leave, give it up, metaphorically, walk off a building because it was just so much pressure. Like you have all these guests coming in, doing the red carpet, have all the sponsors, and it was the pre Emmys. I got the Emmy account. It was the pre Emmy celebration ball. So before the show, you come and everybody celebrates.
Yes.
We even had like Kanye's cousin come, which was a big deal for us because he brought MTV, some of the people from MTV. And so I'm standing outside and nothing's going on and there's no people. But my whole point to that was there could have been a turning point, and I wanted to really just strangle myself. I mean, I was just so embarrassed, and I was just it was terrible. I can't even explain the words. Like it was just, God, shoot me now. Please pull out the gun and shoot me because I'm done. I'm toast. And I followed through with the whole night. I went to the club owner. He's like, you owe me 10 grand. Nobody showed up. Everybody was looking at me like I was crazy and stupid. But the thing that I learned from that is that sometimes you have to go through some crazy stuff to learn from your mistakes, but you must keep moving forward. No matter what happens, you have to keep moving forward. Else you're never going to learn, you're never going to understand, you're never going to get to where you're going. And that was a huge thing. And then after, a month or so, I was back into my groove and I was doing my thing, but I just wanted to share that with the whole music festival thing because nothing's easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. But know the intrinsic knowledge of your industry. Know everything to a post-it note.
Amen.
That's all I have to say about that.
Well, I know you've been a faithful follower to the Saturday Menudo Club. We actually went to a after event, you and I, with some other Menudo Club members this past Saturday, and that was an experience. There was a fellowship that happened here in Houston, And I know the Rick from the Saturday Menudo Club, and I know the Rick outside Saturday Menudo Club, and I could tell you he's an all right guy. So we appreciate you coming on and speaking to our audience. We greatly, greatly are very, very excited that you join us because you bring a lot to the Saturday Menudo Club. I know we had a very in-depth conversation on the topics that we were having this past Saturday. But your insights on listening, on questioning, on just having feedback, that's what we want from our audience. So we truly appreciate you, and we appreciate you coming to our club. And like everything else, flavors make the menudo better. So
Absolutely.
if you and anybody else wants to join us, we do meet. Potentially, it's every first Saturday of the month with a couple of variations that we've had in the past, but typically we meet the first Saturday. Our website is www.saturdaymenudoclub.com. Like Andy mentioned, we do have a calendar that we post events and sister club events on there as well. Andy, did you want to add anything to that?
No, that was it. But you had that Latin wisdom. My dad used to tell me if it were easy, everybody'd be doing it. That was You just brought back a memory there. But
That's awesome. And did
anyway,
I answer all your questions? Because there was a lot to unpack, and I just wanted to make sure I hit all the points that you were asking me.
I think you did get great, Rick. I think if people like yourself, it's a great place to network at the Menudo Club, the Saturday Menudo Club. But these Zoomcasts get to give people the opportunity to give a little bit of more background as to who they are. For instance, you went out to the West Coast and are back in Texas. There's something special that drives people to come back. I mean, there was this big exodus that happened from California, and it kind of sounds like were you before that wave that came back?
I was before. I was before,
Okay.
like right when, because people were still kind of in their spot. They were trying to figure out what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But my in 2020, I did some non-union work for a molecular testing lab, and
Okay.
it was good. But after that, it was just we got to switch gears. Let's
Yeah.
go to something else. And so I picked business development and the continuum of politics.
Well, we thoroughly enjoy people that bring, even if it's concerns or critiques or feedback. That's what the Saturday Menudo Club is all about. Is not only do we have a platform for candidates and activists or mom and dad from the community center down the street to come in and speak, but we value the opinions and feedback and ideas of people that are in our audience as well. So we give you a round of applause. We thank you for joining us today. Andy, do
Absolutely.
you want to let our audience know when our next meeting will be?
yeah, we have one planned for October 4th. We are going to have Don Huffines come be our keynote speaker. And so we're getting the word out because usually we have other speakers that have a few minutes to talk about things that they're working on. So we're looking forward to promoting that. We also have on October 18th, we've got the what's it called? Project Defiant
Mhm.
Freedom Fest over at Cottonwood. And I think that's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's a joint venture with many different groups, and they keep adding other groups to it. So that flyer is actually at the website now. And then on the 25th, we have the Latinos for America First Golden Era championing entrepreneurship at Johnny Tamales. If you like tamales, it's not just about the menudo sometimes. But we keep adding events. So I just gave you access, Rick, to the calendar. And so
Awesome.
more power, light those candles. And, we got a lot going on. And usually one of us tries to, or we have a representative from the Menudo Club that shows up at these events. So we'll claim that. I went to
Awesome.
DC in March. So the Menudo Club went to DC in March. But
That's
we actually
awesome.
met Rick, new Machine Gun Preacher. He actually went to the movie premiere when it first came out, like 2008 or 7 or so.
So on that, we did his book release. We did his book release on Beverly Drive. Man, I left out a bunch of big things. I apologize. I'm sorry. There was just a lot of things. I had we were also doing the Sex and the City movie press junket and release of that, screening of that. But with Machine Gun Preacher, that was amazing because he was in the flesh. He was on his bike. I think I found a couple pictures that I shared with you on the Harley Davidson that he gave out for charity. But he's the real deal. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to do his book signing, be a part of that group, and also just usher in that just all those great people that were part of it. It was a big Hollywood thing, and people came out. I mean, when he and that was before the movie, but there was already talks that I knew of that Gerard Butler was going to play his character, and that it was going to get distributed at least through North America through Lionsgate. So all those things were in the ether. Like, this was already something that was going on that everybody knew about, and he can tell you himself, I'm sure these different deals were coming his way. And I believe Relativity was the company that picked it up. So I mean, it was a huge success, I believe, in terms of just coming from the book, getting A-list actors to play your role. In terms of the things that happen behind the scenes, I'm not privy to that, but I believe his journey and his continued journey is a great success and a wonderful story.
All right, so when they make about the Saturday Menudo Club, we got to find people who are going to play our parts.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Salma Hayek over here.
There you go.
There you go. That sounds great.
Well,
Let's do it.
I do invite our audience to come and visit the club, Saturday Menudo Club. As I mentioned, Rick is a regular there, and he has some very exciting stories that he would like to share with you in person. So please keep up with our calendar. There's a lot of events posted there, and we hope to see you in the future.
You just gave me a good
Absolutely.
idea. So offline, we're available to meet up for coffee or a lunch meetup to
Yeah,
powwow before the events. And so as we get our club directory available, you'll be able to go to the website and connect with other members, so that you can see, like, these are all people you really need to know, the cool kids in town. You ever heard that saying? We're the new
absolutely.
cool kids in
I'm
town.
excited.
Yeah.
Tell me where to sign. Where's my membership? I want to be a part of it now.
We got
Jeez.
DJs, we got music, we got food, we got conversation, we got AI robots. What else do you need in a club?
That's awesome. And then just to add, in terms of the whole the political landscape, just being around. I think you asked me this before, but I just want to make sure I hit all the points. Working alongside Commissioner Sid Miller, having just blessed to just travel with him and be by his side while at the different events for President Trump. I wasn't there when President Trump got shot, and God forbid everything worked out where it was just the year. But I was there when he went back to Butler. I was fortunate to be there at MSG, which was huge. It was such a great thing. And it's so crazy because as you travel and you're being a part of these events, it's awesome because not only do you get to work alongside great people like Commissioner Sid Miller, but also it's just your drive for this thing. It's just so I can't even
There's a
explain it.
passion. Yeah, it's a passion that ignites within people,
It
and I see
ignites
that
you
in
like
you.
in your body, in your soul,
Yeah.
that this is what we need to do, and everybody gravitates to the same type of energy. And so I've been with him on not Commissioner Miller, but when I was also a campaign manager for a previous candidate, I've seen President Trump at the same capacity in Dallas, and it's just been great. Going to West Palm Beach, being at Mar-a-Lago, and just having those awesome situations.
Being a
It's
part of
Yeah,
a
history.
blessing, and I'm super thankful to even be a part of any of that. And if it were to end today, I'm just grateful. I give my gratitude to all the great people that I've worked alongside, and to even give me that opportunity. You have to be grateful for that, because not everybody, you're standing there, you're in the mix, but it's an honor and a privilege to do those things.
Well, I could tell you for a fact that we're thrilled that you're a member at the Saturday Menudo Club. Like I mentioned before, your feedback is very much appreciated. I know the way you speak, you could tell there's a passion that's ignited within you. And I see great things happening for you. So thank you for being a part of our club.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys, for
We have
inviting
we
me.
have a club. We have a club tattoo coming out pretty soon. So
All right. I don't have, where am I getting it? Right here? Or am I getting it right here? Where am I getting it? Where am I getting it?
To be determined, TBD.
All right. All right. Just put a blindfold on me. I'm down for the team.
all right, you've been watching the Saturday Menudo Club ZoomCast here. Andy Valadez co-host with your host Carmen Cavazos and our special guest Mr. Rick Rivera. God bless y'all. Thank you for watching. Ya no mas.